Good evening. I'm Alan Joins, Mayor of Winston-Salem, and it's my pleasure to call to order this April 1st, and that's not a April Fool's joke, meeting of the Winston-Salem City Council to order, and ask the city clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Larson. Councilmember Clark.
Here.
Councilmember Mundy.
Present.
Councilmember Scipio.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Adams.
Here.
Councilmember Taylor.
Present.
Councilmember McIntosh.
Here.
And Councilmember Burke.
Thank you very much. Would you please join the City Council and me in a moment of silence? Thank you. And would you join the City Council with me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our Sergeant at Arms tonight is Lieutenant Horatius Bowen. Lieutenant, thank you for being with us tonight. We'll now turn the meeting over to Mr. Pate for City Manager update.
Thank you. Just a couple of notes tonight, just to remind you again, and I mentioned it a couple times, but the City Vision 2024 is coming to Winston-Salem, as we'll serve as the host for the North Carolina League of Municipalities Conference from Tuesday, April 23rd to Thursday, April 25th at the Benton. Conference will have 5 mobile tours highlighting success stories in affordable housing, business, the arts and innovation, and the host city night, Bright Lights and Bites at the Benton. We're expecting more than 600 leaders in city government from across the state to attend this event, and I know each of you are signed up, so we'll be glad to help in hosting all of your colleagues here in the community. April is also National Fair Housing Month, and the city's Human Relations DEI team will be hosting its 18th annual Fair Housing Summit on Wednesday, April 17th at the Benton from 11:30 to 2. The event is open to housing industry professionals. And in case you didn't catch it, there's a couple of renamings that have happened at the fairgrounds. The Public Assembly Facilities Commission voted to update the names of 2 buildings at the fairgrounds. The former Fairgrounds Annex, some call it the Annex Ice Rink, will now be the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. And the former Fairgrounds Education Building will be known as the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Event Center. I think the commission and ACM Rao talked about having names that better reflect what's going on in those facilities to date. Just 2 team transition notes. One is, I know I think all of you that Tiffany Olivia was going to be moving. Her husband had gotten was going to be in the doctoral program at Harvard, so really a great program. And Tiffany informed me today that she has accepted the assistant town administrator position with the town of Brookline, Massachusetts. So she'll be leaving us in a couple of weeks here, or her last day will be in a couple of weeks, and she'll start up there in early May. Or maybe late April, I forget. I think she's got to find a place to live. I think she's back there somewhere. And then also, I think as all of you know, Patrice Toney, who our assistant city manager and former interim city manager, will be starting a new position as the town manager for the city of Carrboro on Monday, May 6th. Patrice has been with the city since 2016 and oversaw the police, fire, emergency management, human relations, DEI, affordable housing, and neighborhood services departments. And she was interim manager from August to November of this year. Before coming to the city, she worked in Forsyth County in budget management, public health, and the library, and started her career in the Winston-Salem Police Department. So she'll be leaving at the end of just before the end of the month. So just a public acknowledgement to both of them for all the support they've given to the city and to me and to the rest of their colleagues here. And I know council will join me in appreciating their service to the community, and hopefully we'll have at least an event or so that you can come by and say goodbye to them.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Pate. Ms. Tony, congratulations, and bittersweet for us, obviously, but we'll say more. And Tiffany, same to you. We're sorry to lose both of you. Great additions to our city government. All All right, we do have 3 honorary proclamations tonight, so if we can move and have H1, please.
Item H1, proclamation declaring April 1st through the 7th, 2024 as the Week of the Young Child. Whereas the National Association for the Education of Young Children has designated April 1st through the 7th, 2024 as the Week of the Young Child, and whereas this week is to focus public attention on the needs of young children and their families, and to recognize and celebrate how early childhood programs address and service those needs. Whereas we congratulate the local chapter of the National Association for the Education of Young Children on their contributions to the community and are pleased to join in celebrating the Week of the Young Child. Now therefore, I, J. Allen Joines, Mayor of the City of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim April 1st through the 7th, 2024 as the Week of the Young Child.
Thank you. Dr. Lewis Finney is here. Come up to us.
Call my granddaughters and tell them it's their week. This is spring break.
Dr. Finney, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Winston-Salem, we are so thankful and grateful for the work that you do working with the young people in our community and helping to prepare them for their academic career, and you producing really great results in that regard. So I'm happy to present you this proclamation. And if you would like to say a word, we'd love for you.
Okay, good evening, City Council, City Managers and customers and guests and citizens. On behalf of the several thousand kids that we serve each day, I like to look at this as actually Year of the Young Child, because in Smart Start, but also in this city, we look out for our children every single day of the year. I'll also give you a hand as well for the great work you've done with Smart Start, but also specifically with the work that you do for children for your first time in helping us in our program. So thank you for your great work. But also on behalf of our staff and our children, again, continue the great work, and we look forward to working with you and a partnership and working with these young children in Winston-Salem. Thank you.
Item H3, please.
Item H3, proclamation declaring April 2024 as National Diversity Awareness Month. Whereas the City of Winston-Salem is a city that welcomes and celebrates people of all races, ethnicities, religions, genders, sexual orientations, physical and mental circumstances, and economic statuses, and strives to cultivate our diversity, which enhances the quality of life in our community. And whereas the City of Winston-Salem aspires to be an organization where employees use their unique experiences and backgrounds, where ideas are heard, and where we advance a culture of inclusion daily to meet the needs of our employees and community. Our vision is for individuals to feel a deep sense of belonging, purpose, and value. Now, therefore, I, J. Allen Joines, Mayor of the City of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as National Diversity Awareness Month in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and encourage citizens to support the numerous diversity events during the month.
Thank you. Mr. Josh Price and Mr. Fred Tabor, who are both members of the Human Relations Commission, are here to accept this.
Josh, and you got your able assistant with you here as well. So we greatly appreciate the work that the Human Relations Commission is doing on this issue, and wish you well to carry out the agenda for this. Introduce your friend.
On behalf of the Human Relations Commission, we just want to thank the mayor and the city council for all of your support. And I'm honored to accept this.
Thank you.
Item H4.
Item H4, proclamation declaring April 2024 as National Fair Housing Month. Whereas the month of April is recognized throughout the United States of America as Fair Housing Month, this year marks the 56th anniversary of the Federal Fair Housing Act, which provides equal opportunity for all Americans in the sale, rental, and financing of housing. And whereas illegal barriers to equal opportunity in housing, no matter how subtle, diminish the rights of all. And whereas the City of Winston-Salem fully supports the intents and purposes of the Federal Fair Housing Act, and in 1982 adopted the Fair Housing Ordinance and its revision in 1990 to include the 2 new protected classes of handicapped and families with children. Now therefore, I, J. Allen Joines, Mayor of the City of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as National Fair Housing Month.
Thank you, Josh. If you would come up and pick this one up for the commission again.
Thank you. Certainly, the issue of housing in our community is top of our agenda right now. Our chairman of our Housing General Government Committee, Mayor Pro Tem Adams, and our whole council has got that on our mind. And then the work that you all are doing to make sure that housing is made available on an equal opportunity to all of our citizens. And so we greatly appreciate that work as well.
So tonight's agenda of the City Council is comprised of 2 parts, the general agenda and the consent agenda. It's always practice of the council to take the consent agenda as the first order of business. Items on this agenda have been unanimously recommended by a committee of the City Council or are being submitted in accordance with established city procedure. There'll be no discussion of the items on this agenda unless a council member so requests, in which the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered individually. Items not removed from the consent agenda will be enacted with one motion. The meeting is being televised live tonight on TV 13 and be replayed tomorrow at 9 a.m. and again Wednesday at 9 p.m. Copies of our agendas as well as videos of previous meetings are always available online at the city's website, and just click on the Watch Meetings Online options. Council members, are there any items you wish to have pulled? Councilmember Scipio asked for items C4 and C6. Mr. Larson?
I believe C2 is being withdrawn at this meeting. Is that correct? It's not gone to committee yet?
I'm not aware of that. Mr. King, is that?
I'm not aware of such withdrawal requests, and it did go to committee, it looks like on 3/19, is what the CARF says.
You say it's been to our committee?
Correct, Councilmember Larson. I believe that was part of your committee of the whole agenda that we had, I think it was the 18th and 19th.
Okay. I obviously didn't pick up on that. Is Luke here today? I don't know that they have representation here today.
I don't see that he's here, Councilmember Larson.
I'm willing to proceed with it, even in their absence, unless there's objections appear.
Okay. Well, we'll go forward then. May I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
I move for approval of the balance of the consent agenda.
Second. Motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no, and that's unanimous. We'll now go to the 2 items we pulled. Item C4.
Item C4, consideration of items related to construction, engineering, and inspection services for Peachtree Road and Cedar Trail sidewalk projects.
Councilmember Scipio.
Yes, thank you. I had these pulled because we have been talking on council for many years about not being able to get things done, and possibly we need to start contracting things out. So I asked Mr. King if he would just give us an overview of these 2 and how we're getting them done.
Mr. King.
Thank you, Councilmember Scipio. So you're exactly right. So we have a total of 3 projects here, Peachtree Road and Cedar Trail sidewalks, and then the multi-use path along Salem Parkway. And items C4 and C6 would award contracts for construction, engineering, and inspection services for all 3 of those projects. So those are projects that would typically go to our engineering field office. And that work group currently, with their workload of projects that come to them organically through the development review process, along with capital projects they currently have underway, don't have the capacity to help perform those services for these projects. So that's exactly right. We have gone out to procure these services from the private sector, and that will allow us to help deliver these projects.
Thank you. I just wanted everybody to be aware of that, and we commend our staff for taking that initiative. And with that, I would move for approval of C4 and C6.
Second. Second by Councilmember McIntosh. Any discussion? Not all those in favor of approving items C4 and C6, if you'd indicate by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, no. And that is unanimous. Thank you very much. Council will now go to the general agenda, which is comprised of the following items. There's a public hearing on a petition to close and abandon a portion of a street, as well as recommendations to two advisory boards and commissions. When this public hearing is called, if there's persons in the council chamber who'd like to speak on this, I'll recognize them. If you would limit your comments to 3 minutes. If no one wishes to speak, I'll close the public hearing and the council will consider the item. May we have item G1, please?
Item G1, public hearing and consideration on a petition to close and abandon a portion of Morrison Street and Longview Drive, and notice to all persons interested in the closing thereof, located in the Southeast Ward.
Is there anyone in the council chamber who would like to be heard on this petition for closing this street? All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed and would recognize Councilmember Taylor.
Mayor, members of the council, I move for approval of item G1.
Second. Motion seconded by Councilmember McIntosh. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor of the motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no.
Didn't come up. I'm saying yes. Mine didn't come up, so yes.
All right, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. May we have item G2?
Item G2, Mayor joins recommendations for appointments to the Downtown Winston-Salem Business Improvement District Advisory Committee. Walter Farabee, term expires May 2026. Timothy Seacrest, term expires May 2026. Brannon Wilkerson, term expiring May 2027. And Heidi Schwartz, term expiring May 2026.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember McIntosh moves approval, seconded by Councilmember Scipio. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please indicate by voting yes. Anyone opposed, vote no.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that is unanimous. Thank you. And item G3.
Item G3, Mayor joins recommendations for appointment to the Urban Food Policy Council. Basir Razak, term expires September 2026.
Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by Councilmember Scipio. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. Anyone opposed, vote no. And that is unanimous. Thank you, council. Is there any council member have any comments or additional business? If not, I'd recognize a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember McIntosh, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem to adjourn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.
All right.